Hey everyone, Andang here, taking a look at one of the many cool details that are in the Lord of the Rings Online. A detail that the developers put into the game that a lot of players might not even notice, but is something from the lore that is just amazing. And so I figured I'd make at least this video and maybe a few others down the road that just cover these cool places where there are details that people probably don't understand the entire lore behind if they're not familiar with Tolkien. And this is one of them. This is Mirrormere. It's right outside of Moria, as you can see there in the distance. And this is where Durin, when he first awoke, came down, out of the mountains, basically, out of Gundabad, and, continued on his journey down, and came to this lake. And he looked down in the lake and saw that there were constellations down inside. There was the night sky down in the lake. But the thing was, it was daytime when he did that, and it's the same thing in Lotro. They put that into the game. I think it's really cool. This is actually what inspired Durin to create Khazad-dûm, or what is now known as Moria. So without this lake, having the stars the way they are, Moria might be in a different place, or maybe just not even exist without that, which is pretty cool. And there was a monument that was constructed to memorialize this event. Basically, he just looked in the water, saw the stars, and basically they formed a crown around his head. And you can see a crown there in this sense with stars around it. So it's pretty cool that they tied into this area so much significance between the lore and everything that's going on. So it's just little details like that that you don't necessarily notice, because I think a lot of players come out of Moria and they're like, man, it's bright outside, the sun is shining, we haven't seen that in months because we've been in Moria underground so long, just ready to go forward and just start questing again in the beautiful place, and they don't necessarily take the time to look in a lake that, looks fairly dark and boring because, well, it's the night sky that's reflecting there, so it doesn't have that beautiful sunset or sunrise that comes through, which I think is kind of a misfortune that the game doesn't point it out more. But I also think that it's cool that the game doesn't point it out more. I think that there are so many cool details in Lotro that just players might not ever see if they don't go out of their way to look for them, and I think this is one of them, and it's just really cool to see here in the game. So let me know in the comments down below places you've seen in the Lord of the Rings Online that maybe quests don't push you towards, but are still just really nice little details that fill out the world and make it feel much more like Middle-earth from the books. Let me know about those instances in the comments down below if you've noticed any of them, or just what you think about Mirrormere. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon for more of the Lord of the Rings Online.